Hi guys. So I have had several people ask me about homeschooling, how do I do it? What curriculum do I use? All that kind of stuff. And I never know what to say because I'm just kind of like, I don't know. We just kind of go at it, and she's only 4. And so for the most of the time up till now, it's been kind of very fluid and just kind of, learning situationally, as we go, stuff like that. Whenever we're watching a movie, we'll be like, oh, look, it's a blue house or whatever. So, but now I'm like, over the past year, I've been working on trying to getting much more organized, and it's been so difficult and frustrating because and first of all, let me just clarify that all of the moms out there who put out their preschool schedules and the different curriculums, all of the helpful tips, like especially like I use Confessions of a Homeschooler a lot. Her stuff is amazing. So I strongly encourage you to, lean on those women as much as you feel, because, they've done the work and they want to share with you. And so even just like if you look and be like, okay, I like how she does this, but I don't like how she does that, and kind of build your own and something that's comfortable for you. And that's basically what I've done, because I'm not a fly by the seat of your pants mom, but I'm also not a super, super organized mom. I'm somewhere in between. I need lists to keep me sane, but when the lists are too rigid, then I get overwhelmed and I'm just like, I just can't do it. So a lot of the schedules will be like, we wake up at 7 o'clock, and then, at 8 o'clock we have breakfast, and 8:30 we start this subject, and, it's so set in stone, that schedule, and that just never really worked for me. I tried it several times, and I'm just like, every day is different because of my work schedule, my husband's schedule. Sometimes I'm on call, and sometimes, I'm at a birth and my husband's doing the homeschooling, and he's like trying to, figure out what to do. So I wanted it to be very fluid. So I got inspired by a cleaning schedule online that I found, and I made me this. It's probably reverse on your end. So what I did is I found various clip art free online. You're able to use them as long as you're not making money, and I'm not making money off of this video, I promise. So each column, sorry, I have ink on my fingers if you see that. So each column is different. This is the things that we do every day. We do Bible story, we do something with reading, math, writing, and PE. And then these are the things we do weekly. So, and what I do is I have a dry erase marker. So like every day I check off the things as we do them. And it doesn't matter, if we do Bible first or PE first, just whenever they're done, we check them off. And weekly we try to do one of these things every day. As you can see, review is on there twice. That's just like, Monday we were working on writing the letter B, and she was really struggling over it. Well, we're going to work extra on the letter B, whenever we do one of those reviews. And, art and dance. And now to clarify, the reason that I have art weekly instead of daily is because Penny loves art anyway, and she was like doing art all day long. So I decided just once a week to make it a little bit more structured. And then in addition, I also did over here in the monthly section, a couple times a month we'll do like a bigger art project, like do some sort of collage or, something. So, and again, the daily things are what need to be done, and the weekly and the monthly things are things that are very important to do. But if they all get done at the end of the month, or they all get done at the beginning of the month, or we only get half of them done, it's not a super huge deal. So yeah, and eventually I want to go and find like prettier clip art, make it super fancy. But for now, this is like a great thing for us. So then what I did is I took those same clip art images and I did sections in my binder. So behind here is where all the review stuff is, and behind here is where our Bible is. There are free coloring pages you can print online for pretty much anything. And so there's where Bible stays. I don't think I have any. Oh yeah, no, I do have stuff in reading. So like I have all her reading stuff in there. So basically it takes a lot of the thought process out of it. I only have to work for an hour or two a month just laying everything out, and then we just open it and we go. And again, it's like if she's really struggling with, writing certain letters or reading certain word types or something, then we just work extra on that, and we do just a little bit in the other subjects. And so having it be more fluid, we can spend more time on the areas that she needs, and we don't have to be like, oh no, it's 8:30, we're done with this class, we got to go on to the next class, that is going to be a huge saving grace for us. And well, I mean, it is a huge saving grace for us. So that's my big tip is create a schedule that works for you. And maybe that schedule that works for you is ones that others have made, and so maybe it's something that you have to make for yourself. But I strongly encourage fluid schedules because one of the biggest things about homeschooling is being able to be flexible. And you know, someday we might, and you can see on here I have field trip is on there. So you know, maybe Monday, instead of doing all the other school stuff, we're gonna go to the zoo, and that's gonna be our school day. And you know, we'll just tick off as many of those boxes at the zoo, like read one of the signs about one of the animals or something. So yeah, I strongly encourage fluidity. Now, one of the subjects that we're working on is Bible. We're going to be memorizing verses and reading Bible stories that relate to those verses. And so one thing I found is like all I did was search like memory verses for kids, and I found these pages of these memory verses, and I cut them out. And now, you know, it's on paper, so it doesn't last very well, and it's hard to laminate that kind of thing because you have to like separate them and then cut them. It's really tricky. So what I do is I use tape. I laminated these little cards with tape. Just laid them on the table, put the tape on both sides, and then trimmed it. And it's super awesome because they'll last really well, and also, you know, I'll have them for when Chloe's ready to start, and she can keep them to work on whenever she does. So yeah, that goes in our binder. And the other thing that you would be really surprised how many homeschool things are in dollar store sections. One of the things I got at the Dollar Tree, which means this is $1, is I got 4 in one pack of these little clocks, and the hands move. And so I can just like, I can lay them all out, set times on them, and ask her to guess what time, well, not guess, but ask her to tell me what times they are. So that was just $1. So homeschooling is definitely not expensive. It can be done very cheaply, especially if you're patient and, you know, just kind of get things as you go. You know, half-price bookstores, the dollar section at Target, before the beginning of school years in the fall and in the spring, they always have some new stuff. So especially for like 2nd grade and younger. But especially for like preschool age stuff, like there's so much. And you know, one thing that I do is I can't remember if I bought this or if someone gave it to me, but it's like a kindergarten curriculum stuff, and it's got, you know, all the pages in there, and I tear them out, I hole punch them and put them in our binder. But there's several things, and I wonder if I can find one, but they have several pages where the activity, oh yeah, here's one right here. The activity is to, excuse me, is to cut these out and make like a little flip book so that you can practice these O words that were the short vowel O words. Sorry, I lost my trail of thought. And so what I do with those is I laminate them with tape as well. So that way, you know, they can last really well, can practice with them. And, you know, they do a lot of fun stuff too, like, you know, these little sliding things. This one was probably my favorite, the feather in the hat, so that you can read these at words, and, you know, it's on a hat. So, so yeah, you know, especially if you have multiple kids and you know that you're going to want to homeschool your younger kids too, this is a great way to save these things. And you know, packing tape is not that expensive, especially when you're just using little bits like this. You know, you can laminate, you know, probably an entire book of kindergarten stuff for like a couple dollars. So yeah, so just to reveal my 3 homeschooling tips from this trying to figure out this homeschooling mom is, you know, you can laminate things cheaply with tape. You can even do whole pages. I mean, it's like, you know, it's a pain in the butt, but you can do it if that's what you need to do. I do happen to have a laminator, and honestly, if you live nearby me, I will definitely lend you my laminator. You bring your laminating pages and you can borrow it. So, and then the schedule, figure out your schedule. And here, I'll just hold up mine one more time in case you want to look at it. But, and you know, like the clip art is like super cheesy, but kids don't mind, honestly. And, you know, with that dry erase marker, being able to tick things off, kids love doing stuff like that. And mostly, just overall, just have a lot of fun with it. And, you know, remember that homeschooling is so that you can spend more time with your kids. Homeschooling is so that they can learn in a style that works best for them, and just be prepared for it to change. My homeschooling with Penny has changed probably 3 or 4 times, and she's only 4. So, finding that perfect system for you may take a little while. I'm sorry this video is really long. I appreciate you being patient with me, and I will continue to share any fun homeschooling tips that I get, because I know how much I have just been so blessed by those moms who post their stories and what works for them online, and I'm so grateful, because I don't think that I could have figured out these tips for myself if I didn't first have their help and wisdom to guide me. So good for you homeschooling moms, good for you moms who send your kids to school. We're all doing awesome, and I love you all.